So there are a lot of different topics under the umbrella of geology. However, let's talk about a few of them. If you are interested in the actual collecting, the rock hounding, fossil hunting, crystal hunting side of things, I always recommend field guides for that. This one is a fossil field guide. This one is a mineral field guide. And these are both Audubon field guides. I recommend these because they're small, compact, but full of lots of information and nice pictures in both of them. So if you're collecting, a field guide is good. Now, even if you're not collecting, this field guide, we got a butterfly here, this field guide is really full of good information, so you can learn a lot about minerals and fossils with these as well. And if you want to know about the geology of a specific region that you are exploring, these Roadside Geology books are great. They're really interesting. And what's fun is that if you are, say, traveling through a state, then you will, it's actually categorized by the road that you're on. And then you can read about the geologic features that you might come across while you're on those roads. So pretty fun, especially if you're new to a place. You can find out a lot of interesting geologic history, geologic features. You can get a pretty broad overview of the geologic layout of that state. So Roadside Geology books, there's a lot of them. You can get them for pretty much most of the states out there. You can get them for, and there's some other topics that they cover as well. So check those out. Now, if your interests are more on the fossil side of things, again, that field guide I just talked about, and also there's lots of text out there about the evolutionary history of Earth. Some of them are pretty great. I talk in another video about fossil-related books, especially if you're fossil hounding. But again, that field guide would be the main one. But this is Inner Fish by Neil Shubin. That's pretty interesting. There's a lot that are out there for specific organisms, specific types of species. So check those out. Now, some historical texts can also be interesting if you're trying to learn the geologic history of an area. For instance, this is Klondike Fever by Pierre Burton, and this is a pretty good read, really interesting, especially if you're interested in mining history. Then look into some historical texts about the mining history of whatever region you're interested in. So there you have it, a whole stack of texts to get you started learning topics related to geology. Whether it is that you want to start collecting them, collecting minerals and fossils, or if you just want to learn what's around you when you're hiking or driving, or maybe you want to know the history of a certain region. Mining historical books are great for that, to the evolutionary history and why the fossils are where they are. Now, of course, these are not all the texts that are out there. They're just some of my favorites. I would also recommend, if you really want to learn geology, you could pick up a Geology 101 text, or if you're interested in volcanoes, Volcanology, Volcanoes 101, something like that, along the lines of a scientific. You can even get old textbooks, and those will be really good information to get you started. And even if you're just interested in collecting, that information will actually help you find what you're looking for if you better understand why those things are where they are. So you can get old geologic texts from thrift stores. You can find them on Amazon. So yeah, I highly recommend those as well. Just pick up an old textbook. They're usually very cheap if they're from an older year, and the information's still pretty good. So with that, happy rock hounding, fossil hunting, or learning about geology. And of course, you can learn tons about geology here at Let's Go Geo. So I'll see you guys next time.